Welcome everyone to By Jash channel. All right, let's dive right in, shall we? Today we're taking a deep dive into Wilbur Smith's King of Kings.
Oh, King of Kings, a class.
Yeah, we've got excerpts from it to help guide our discussion today. And I think it's safe to say this book is an epic adventure.
It is a sweeping epic.
Through colonial Africa in the late 19th century, think love, loss, betrayal, and resilience, all against this backdrop of a world
On the brink of change.
Exactly.
You know what's really captivating about King of Kings and Smith's Ballantyne series as a whole? It's how he so masterfully intertwines these personal dramas with these huge historical events.
Yeah.
You know, you'll see echoes of H. Rider Haggard in his storytelling.
Oh, for sure.
That sense of grand adventure and exploration. But Smith brings a unique depth to his characters.
Yeah, and their struggles, and wow, right from the start.
Right off the bat.
We're thrown into this whirlwind romance between Penrod Ballantyne and Amber Benbrook.
Oh, yeah.
And their attraction is undeniable.
Oh, yeah.
But their pasts.
Oh, especially Penrod's past.
Yeah. With Amber's sister, Rebecca.
It's a bombshell.
It creates so much tension that it just explodes.
Yeah.
The dramatic confrontation and separation
Yeah.
is like watching a train wreck in slow motion.
You just can't look away.
You can't.
It's a classic Smith setup, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Using those intense personal relationships as a lens to view these larger forces
Yes.
at play.
Oh, that's a great way to put it.
Like take the Siege of Khartoum, for example.
Oh, yeah.
This historical event, the modest uprising that challenged British control in Sudan, it becomes a defining moment for Penrod.
Totally.
The trauma of the siege shapes his actions.
Yeah, his choices.
And ultimately his future.
That's so true. It's like Smith is showing us how these massive historical events have a ripple effect, outward impacting lives in these really profound ways.
In ways you might not even realize.
And we see that with Saffron, too.
Right.
How the siege leads to her marriage to Ryder Courtney.
Yeah.
And how the shadow of Khartoum just hangs over Penrod,
It follows him.
driving him to seek comfort
Maybe even escape.
in other pursuits.
Yeah, and that leads us to Ryder Courtney's ambitious silver mining venture in Abyssinia.
Modern-day Ethiopia.
It's not just about getting rich, though. It's a microcosm of this whole colonial enterprise.
It really is.
You see the challenges of assembling a team, transporting all of that equipment, navigating the complex local politics.
It's crazy.
It's like a crash course in the ambitions and the perils of colonialism, all wrapped up in this daring venture.
And don't forget, Rusty Tompkins.
Oh, how could we?
This smelting expert, brilliant, but battling his own demons becomes crucial to the mine's success.
Oh, absolutely.
I was fascinated by how Smith highlights the importance of quicksilver in silver extraction.
Quicksilver, or mercury as we know it today, was key in extracting the silver from the ore.
I had no idea it was so vital.
Basically, the process involves heating the ore, and the quicksilver binds with the silver, which allows for it to be separated.
Oh, wow.
It was a dangerous process,
It sounds like it.
but it was essential to the whole operation.
Yeah, and the anecdote where Patch finances Rusty's quest to secure more quicksilver.
It really shows the loyalty
And camaraderie.
within the group, even as they're facing these incredible odds.
And just when you think they've got a handle on things,
Right when they think they're getting somewhere,
betrayal just hits hard.
it really does.
Dan, the mine engineer, turns out to be a snake in the grass, sabotaging the operation and leading to Rusty's tragic death.
It's a harsh reminder that trust is a fragile thing.
It really is, especially in a world where ambitions and greed often come before loyalty.
That's a really clever move by Smith, too, though, don't you think?
Oh, totally.
By introducing betrayal, he injects this dose of reality into the narrative.
Exactly.
It's not all heroic adventures and these grand discoveries.
Yeah.
There's a dark underbelly to this world where personal gain can be more important than even the strongest bonds.
Yeah. And while this is all
It's
happening,
their personal draw.
the political landscape in Abyssinia is anything but stable.
Not even a little.
Emperor John's death just throws the nation into turmoil.
Yeah. Complete turmoil.
With power struggles and the looming threat of Italian expansion.
Adding fuel to the fire.
It's like the whole region is a powder keg ready to explode.
And Menelik Ashela is standing right in the middle of it all.
Yeah.
A figure as ambitious as he is, shrewd.
Oh, yeah.
Smith portrays him as a master manipulator playing all sides to his advantage.
It's pretty impressive.
He knows that power is a game, and he's going to win no matter the cost.
Wow. The Battle of Adowa, where the Ethiopian forces defeat the Italians,
Decisively defeat them.
becomes this pivotal moment
A turning point.
in the story.
It really does.
It's not just a military victory.
It's symbolic.
Yeah, a symbol of resistance against colonial encroachment.
A declaration that Abyssinia will not be easily conquered.
But as this historic battle unfolds, We see Penrod spiraling deeper into opium addiction,
Haunted by the loss of Amber.
seeking solace in the haze of the drug.
It's heartbreaking to see him like that.
It really is.
But even in Penrod's darkest hour,
Yeah.
Smith offers a glimmer of hope. His encounter with Farouk, the leader of a leper colony,
Oh, wow.
becomes this turning point, This unexpected connection, this act of compassion in a world that's cast them both aside, plants the seeds for Penrod's potential redemption.
I love that. And back at Courtney camp,
Yeah.
a devastating famine strikes the region.
It's a stark reminder of how fragile life is in this environment.
Yeah, how political instability and conflict can have these devastating consequences for ordinary people.
But even amidst all the suffering,
Yeah,
Amber's compassion shines through.
it really does.
Her work to help the refugees shows us the power of human resilience, even when faced with overwhelming odds.
And then after all of that,
The trials and tribulations,
the long-awaited reunion,
the reunion.
Penrod and Amber finally come face to face.
What a moment.
It's a moment full of emotion.
Yeah, a reckoning with their shared past.
And a chance for closure.
Do you think this reunion offers them the comfort they've been seeking?
That's the question, isn't it?
It is.
This is where it gets really interesting.
And we're just getting started.
Hold on tight, because in the next part, we'll see how personal demons and political intrigue collide, as Penrod finds himself back in the world of espionage and danger, while Ryder's venture faces new threats from some unexpected sources.
And Amber?
Well, she's about to prove that she's far more than just a damsel in distress.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Smith really doesn't shy away from the darker side of colonialism.
Yeah, he doesn't.
He takes us right to the heart of Cairo, where Penrod is now deep in his opium addiction and witnesses this brutal attack at an opium den.
Oh, yeah.
It's a stark reminder of the violence and exploitation that's often lurking beneath the surface of these so-called civilized outposts of empire.
Yeah, that scene was intense.
It was.
And then there's Lady Agatha, this wealthy socialite who takes an interest in Penrod.
Oh, yeah.
She's got her own hidden vulnerability.
Her own demons.
Yeah, that she's battling. I found their connection fascinating, almost like two sides of the same coin,
That's interesting.
both seeking escape.
From the pressures of their world.
Yeah, their respective worlds.
I think it's a clever parallel that Smith draws.
I do too.
Penrod seeks solace in the haze of opium, and Lady Agatha is trapped in this gilded cage of her social standing.
Right.
Both are yearning for something more,
Something real.
But their paths to fulfillment are so dangerous.
Oh, yeah, and full of deception.
Definitely.
And that confrontation with the Duke of Kendal.
After Penrod steals from him.
Talk about high-stakes drama.
Oh, yeah.
It's like Smith is pulling back the curtain on the hypocrisy of colonial society.
Exposing the rot beneath the veneer of respectability.
Exactly.
The Duke with his outward appearance of morality.
Right, and his secret vices.
He's a symbol of the corruption.
That often festers at the heart of power.
Yeah, and Penrod, by challenging him,
Yeah.
exposes this hypocrisy and sets in motion a chain of events.
There will have far-reaching consequences.
And speaking of consequences...
Yeah, let's not forget about Horatio Gardner.
Oh, yeah. The seemingly harmless archaeologist who's actually a master thief.
Wow. Tricking the Duke of Kendal into revealing the combination to his safe. It's like watching a masterclass in manipulation.
Gardner's character is a brilliant addition to the story.
I agree.
He adds intrigue.
And suspense.
He represents the cunning and the opportunism that often thrives in the shadows of empire.
Yeah, exploiting the weaknesses of those in power for personal gain.
Meanwhile, back in Abyssinia...
Yeah. Ryder and his team are facing their own challenges.
A whole different set of challenges.
The shipwreck that destroys their equipment, the threat of bandits, the political turmoil that just seems to escalate every day.
Doesn't let up.
You really get a sense of their grit and determination it took to just survive in that environment.
A testament to their resilience.
For sure, they could have given up, packed their bags, and headed home.
Back to the safety of England.
But they persevere.
Driven by ambition, loyalty to each other.
Maybe even a little stubbornness.
Probably.
But amidst all of that chaos and danger,
yeah,
there are these beautiful moments of humanity that shine through. Saffron's pregnancy.
The joy of Leon's birth.
Yeah, the camaraderie between the team as they face hardship after hardship.
It's like Smith is reminding us that even in the darkest of times, life finds a way.
I love that. And Amber?
Yes, Amber.
She's not just sitting back waiting for things to happen.
She's not.
She's actively involved in the operation.
Using her language skills and her wit to navigate the Abyssinian culture.
I remember that scene where she uncovers the discrepancy between the Italian and Amharic versions of Menelik's treaty.
Oh, yeah, that was a great scene.
That was a real aha moment.
It really highlights the importance of understanding the different perspectives.
It does.
Amber, with her ability to bridge that cultural divide, becomes so valuable to Ryder and the team.
Yeah. She represents a different kind of colonial presence,
One that's based on collaboration.
and understanding.
Rather than force and exploitation.
And Menelik himself.
Such a fascinating character.
A cunning strategist.
A master manipulator.
Yeah, a leader who is not afraid to use any means necessary to achieve his goals.
Whatever it takes.
His decision to protect Ryder and his team, even when it puts him at odds with these powerful forces, speaks volumes about his character.
Menelik is a complex figure.
He is.
He's driven by this desire to modernize his nation.
To strengthen it.
To resist the influence of Europe.
Yeah.
But he's also ruthless and pragmatic.
Willing to make deals with the devil.
If it helps him reach his ultimate goal.
And while this is all happening, Penrod's journey takes an unexpected turn.
It does.
His exile to the leper colony.
Yeah.
It becomes a transformative experience for him.
Not just about escaping the consequences of his actions.
Right. It's about confronting his demons.
And finding a sense of purpose.
Yeah. And redemption in the most unlikely of places.
It's so fascinating how Smith uses this period of isolation to really explore Penrod's character.
Yeah, you see him stripped of his privilege and his status.
Forced to rely on his wit and humanity to survive.
Yeah, his interactions with Farouk, the colony's leader, are so moving.
They are.
That scene where Penrod teaches himself to play chess.
And finds comfort in the company of these outcasts.
It's so powerful.
It shows that true connection can be found in the most unexpected places.
Even in the midst of suffering.
And then, just as Penrod seems to be finding some peace, the famine hits Tigray.
Putting everyone at Courtney camp to the test.
It's a reminder of how fragile life is.
Yeah, how even the best laid plans can be shattered.
By forces beyond our control.
Amber's compassion and resilience really shine through during this crisis.
They do.
She doesn't hesitate to put herself at risk to help those in need.
It's inspiring.
Such a contrast to Bill Peters' cowardice.
His true colors are revealed.
And it's not pretty.
Not at all. His betrayal cuts deep.
Especially for Amber, who trusted him.
It's a harsh lesson about human nature.
And a reminder that even in the worst situations, self-preservation can be more important than loyalty and compassion.
But thankfully, there are characters like Amber and Dan
who remind us that humanity can prevail.
Speaking of Dan.
Yeah, his sudden reappearance.
His attempt to save Amber even if it costs his own life.
It's tragic, but also incredibly moving.
He's trying to redeem himself.
For his past mistakes.
Trying to prove that he's capable of selfless acts.
It's a powerful moment of redemption for him.
It really is. It underscores the idea that even those who have made mistakes can find grace.
Through self-sacrifice.
And Penrod, racing against time to rescue Amber from Peters and his bandit allies.
It's a nail-biting climax.
Full of action.
And suspense.
That scene where he confronts them.
On top of the Amba, with the backdrop of the Italian defeat.
Breathtaking.
Smith knows how to weave together personal drama and historical events to keep you on the edge of your seat.
A masterful blend of storytelling.
Yeah, the personal and the political collide.
And Penrod's quest for redemption intersects with this pivotal moment in Abyssinian history.
It adds so much to the story.
In the end, we get this glimpse of hope and renewal.
We do.
The silver mine is flourishing.
The community at Courtney Camp is thriving.
And our characters.
Scarred, but not broken.
Ready to start new chapters?
It's bittersweet, but optimistic.
A testament to the resilience of the human spirit.
Yeah, a reminder that even when faced with adversity, hope and the possibility of a better tomorrow can prevail.
It's amazing, isn't it?
What's that?
How Smith parallels Penrod's journey with the historical events happening around him.
Oh, yeah.
Penrod is struggling with his past, trying to make a new path for himself, at the same time that the people of Abyssinia are fighting for their survival.
Against the Italians.
Yes.
It's like those individual struggles are just a tiny reflection of this larger fight for freedom.
Exactly like Penrod battling his inner demons mirrors Abyssinia's fight against being controlled by a colonial power.
And the Battle of Adowa becomes this point where everything comes to a head.
Yeah, it's more than just armies clashing.
It's ideologies clashing.
A true test of will and determination.
On both sides. And Ryder.
Poor Ryder.
He's caught between being loyal to Menelik and wanting to protect his family and the mine.
Talk about an impossible choice.
It really shows just how complex colonialism was and the difficult situations it put people in.
Absolutely. And you know who really shines in all this chaos and bloodshed?
Ooh.
Amber.
Oh, yeah.
She is so courageous and resilient. Her choice to stay and help the refugees, even when it's dangerous, says so much about her.
She could have just left.
Easily.
But her compassion and sense of responsibility made her stay.
Such a stark contrast to Bill Peters' cowardice.
Oh, yeah. His true colors are on full display now, and it's not a good look.
His betrayal really hurts Amber.
Yeah. Especially because she trusted him.
It's a hard lesson about people.
And that sometimes self-preservation comes before loyalty and compassion.
Thankfully, though, we have people like Amber and Dan.
Who remind us that there's still good in the world.
And speaking of Dan,
His reappearance and his attempt to save Amber
even at the cost of his own life,
is so tragic and moving.
it's like he wants to make up for his past mistakes to show that he can be selfless and brave.
It's a powerful moment of redemption for him.
It really emphasizes that even those who mess up can find forgiveness.
Through self-sacrifice.
And Penrod racing to save Amber from Peters and the bandits.
What a climax.
So much action.
And suspense.
That scene where they confront each other
On the Emba.
while the Italians are being defeated below.
It's incredible. Smith is so good at combining the drama of the characters with historical events to keep you on the edge of your seat.
He's a master storyteller.
The personal and the political just crash together.
In a way that's exciting but makes you think.
And Penrod's redemption.
Happens at the same time as this huge moment in Abyssinian history.
It adds another layer to the story.
And finally, after everything they've gone through,
There's hope and a chance for a new beginning.
the Silver Mine is a success.
Courtney camp is thriving.
The characters are hurt but not broken.
Ready for what comes next? It's a bittersweet ending.
But it leaves you feeling optimistic.
Yeah, it really shows how resilient people can be, that even when things are bad, there's always hope for a better future.
What a journey.
From Cairo to the Abyssinian highlands, King of Kings has taken us on a roller coaster of emotions.
Love, loss, betrayal.
And finally, redemption. It's a story that sticks with you and makes you think about colonialism, the power of the human spirit, and love loss, and the search for meaning.
It really makes you think.
Well, that was quite a deep dive.
It was.
We explored King of Kings, uncovered the hidden parts of the characters and the history, and hopefully made you think about some interesting questions along the way.
If you're looking for a great adventure that'll transport you to another time and place,
Definitely check out Wilbur Smith.
you won't regret it.
And remember,
There's always more to explore.
more connections to be made.
More to learn from the stories we encounter, so keep exploring, keep asking questions, and never stop being curious.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Until next time.
Happy reading.